Hi, I'm Kelsey from Coaching with Kelsey, and today I want to chat with you about self-doubt. Don't think I need to spend too much time defining what self-doubt is. You're probably familiar with it, and it's pretty self-explanatory. We doubt ourselves, self-doubt. I want to start by exploring how self-doubt can be useful to us, so that we can understand its purpose, because this is something that's important to me, that we understand that negative emotions don't exist just to make us miserable. They serve a purpose, they're useful, and we can appreciate them even if we don't enjoy them. There are times that self-doubt keeps us from doing something unprepared, which really can keep us from true danger and harm. An example of that might be if I've never driven a car before, self-doubt might remind me that I am unprepared and that I shouldn't just get in that car and get on the road, because I'll probably get into an accident. I could hurt myself, I could hurt other people. It reminds me that preparedness can be important. But over time, self-doubt can become a coping mechanism for dealing with potentially uncomfortable emotions. And when it gets to that point, no amount of preparedness will get us to take action. It's almost like we see that self-doubt is useful at some point, subconsciously perhaps, and then we decide, well, if it's useful, it should be useful all the time, and we lean into it hard. And I think that in some ways you could look at this as if, like, you find out a food is good for you. Like, I'm just going to use broccoli as an example. And you're like, well, broccoli is good for me, so I'm only going to eat broccoli. And ultimately, yeah, you would get sick from that. That would no longer be good for you because you're relying only on the one thing. In this case, with self-doubt, we're relying only on self-doubt to cope with the potential of these uncomfortable emotions like failure or insecurity, things like that. So you have probably flexed your self-doubt muscle a lot. But how often are you exercising your self-trust muscle? I, too, have had a lifetime of experience exercising my self-doubt. So I'm going to use myself as an example here and tell you that every time I put out a video for all of you lovely people, I experience self-doubt. All these questions run through my head. Did I explain that well enough? Did I expand upon the topic in a way that's going to be helpful for people? Did I make it clear that the tool I'm offering is flexible, and if it doesn't fit for you, that's okay? Like, all of these things. I'm always worried, right? I put the video out anyway, though, because I also have to exercise my self-trust. Self-trust helps me manage my self-doubt. It helps me to understand whether my self-doubt is being useful and helpful, or is my self-doubt trying to save me from some sort of fear of failure or being misunderstood. Sometimes we feel self-doubt and we immediately think there's something wrong with me. At my core, I am incapable. And this is where things get prickly. Because we are not taking the sign of self-doubt as just a neutral thing to tell us maybe we need to be a little more prepared for this, or maybe we're overthinking it, right? We're making it mean something about who we are as a person. And that, my friends, is why self-doubt can feel painful and self-trust can feel so challenging. Self-doubt is not a sign that anything has gone wrong. It's not a sign that you are incapable at your core. It is only a sign that you are having a thought. And in some cases, maybe that thought is, I think I should be a little more prepared for this. And that can be totally reasonable. Sometimes, though, the thought is, I can't do anything right. This is way too hard, and I'm not even going to try it. That would be impossible for me to accomplish. That is when we need to really look at the self-doubt. Is it being realistic? Is it being useful anymore? What would happen if we introduce some self-trust into a situation like that? Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions about self-doubt and self-trust, please let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll talk more about this topic. And as always, don't forget that if what I talked about today resonated with you and you're curious about working with me, you can always sign up for a free consultation. There's a link in my Instagram bio, and if you're watching this on YouTube, then there is a link down below. Thank you again, and I will talk to you next time.